On this episode of I'm Not a Lawyer, but the Debrief.
Say where to find you.
You can catch me on GOOLZBY on IG and RIP to Donna.
She not dead.
She gon' die now.
Now, if you're not ready, then go ahead and tell me you're not ready.
I object to you getting records. You've been intrusive into people's personal lives.
I'm not a lawyer, but I'm not a lawyer, but
The Debrief.
hello, and welcome to another episode of I'm Not a Lawyer, but
The Debrief.
I am Melanie, aka I'm Not a Lawyer, but, and I'm joined by my co-host.
Gooseby. How y'all doing?
And we are not lawyers or legal experts. The other day, though, I said something that it just came out, but I said I like it. I am not an expert. I don't have an expert opinion, but I have an informed one because I read and watch the things that I speak about, which many people could probably do. When you speak about things, you should maybe review them, read them, watch them. So all of that to say, we are not legal experts, but I am at least an informed person.
Mel sounds like that guy off Taken. You seen that movie? It's like, over all these years, I've required a set of skills. And I'll find you. And I'll kill you. Have you seen that? You ain't seen it. You don't understand that.
I don't. It's lost on me.
Really? Oh, man. I'm going to play it. We're going to have to clip that in.
Sorry, I don't watch movies. So there are a number of things that have happened this week that we are going to be attempting to talk about because it's a lot. The first one is a lot in like pop culture world and the legal world. So number one is Drake versus UMG. If you're unaware, I don't know how, but maybe you are.
Mm-hmm.
Drake filed a lawsuit against UMG, which is the company he was signed to, and also the company Kendrick Lamar is signed to. And he sued them for defamation. He sued them for harassment in the second degree, and he sued them for violation of Section 349 of the New York General Business Law. And it all obviously has to do with Not Like Us. And his claim was that the defamation specific claims were for the lyrics of Not Like Us, the A minor, that whole thing.
Saying that he liked little girls.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then the cover art for Not Like Us, which consisted of his home in Canada with a bunch of the markers that indicate that a offender lives in this house, and there were like 13 on his house. And so
I ain't see that.
You didn't see the cover art?
No.
Yes, you did.
Let me see. Pull it. Let me see. I might have saw it and didn't know what it was, but that is wild.
Yeah. Hold on. Here you go. Oops.
Because Mel does this when we move into a different house,
Absolutely.
a different neighborhood. She searches she plugs in that whole situation, and you see where all the offenders are.
I look up offenders' addresses and see do any live near where I'm planning to move.
That is wild.
So that was the cover art for Not Like Us. That is Drake's home in Canada, and you see all of the markers. And that's so crazy. He said that was defamation. And so he obviously didn't sue Kendrick Lamar, but he sues UMG. And that's because UMG, again, is the company, the recording company for Kendrick Lamar. So he is saying that you guys, in releasing and promoting these lyrics, as well as this cover art, you defamed me, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like I said, harassment, and then the New York General Business Law. So that was filed a while ago. UMG has the funniest attorneys. I can't even lie. I have read a couple different cases in which their attorneys have responded, and they are funny. So they responded here, filed a motion to dismiss. And the New York federal judge, it was a federal case. The judge just dismissed the entire lawsuit.
And this is the same company, UMG is the same company that represents Drake. So both of them are underneath the same label.
Yep.
Okay. And the judge just dismissed.
Drake's lawsuit.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
I would too, man.
Tell us why.
Why? Because Drake also fought back. Like it was tit for tat type situation. And Kendrick just came out with a better song, more catchy song. He got the upper hand on him, and now he's whining and crying about it. But if it was vice versa, you know, it would have just been whatever. So
You're not far off. The judge did mention, like, you made your own allegations against him. I'm going to read some of the opening from the judge when this is the opinion and the order from the judge when she dismissed it. She says this case arises from perhaps the most infamous rap battle in the genre's history. The vitriolic, did I say it right? Vitriolic. I always do that. The vitriolic war of words that erupted between superstar recording artists Aubrey Drake and Kendrick Lamar in the spring of 2024. Over the course of 16 days, the two artists released 8 so-called diss tracks with increasingly heated rhetoric, loaded accusations, and violent imagery. Now, this one I always get. The penultimate song of this feud, Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar, dealt the metaphoric killing blow. The song contains, she just declared him the winner, and that's why it's so good. Because the judge just declared him the winner. In the legal document, she said, you lost. The song contains lyrics explicitly accusing Drake of being a pedophile, set to a catchy beat and propulsive bass line. Not Like Us went on to become a cultural sensation, achieving immense commercial success and critical acclaim. That is so funny. Why would you start your opinion like that? That's so funny.
also,
She's clearly a fan.
The word of the week, penultimate.
I know. So it means the second to last.
Second to last.
Yes. So because remember there was a song after Not Like Us, but everybody stopped at Not Like Us. So anyway, that was the beginning of her order, which already let you know where this is going.
That's the judge saying this.
Yes, this is the judge. But the basic highlights from her opinion is that the lyrics of Not Like Us are non-actionable because which you can't base a lawsuit off of the lyrics because they're freedom of speech. Essentially, it's an opinion. She basically said everything in here, even the cover art, is opinion based. Opinion based falls under freedom of speech. You can't sue. Have a good day. So that was like the general ruling. Go ahead.
Can you imagine the judge getting ready to go into court? And she's like, let's listen to what he really said.
Well, and it's clear that she literally she went through all of the songs, all of the lyrics. She probably was like, dang,
he snapped.
He really got you. But the main thing, baby. The main thing that the judge is saying outside of what I just said is the context matters here. And so why she is deeming this opinion based is because in the context of rap battles, what people who are familiar with rap battles, a reasonable person would assume these are just shots. These are just opinions. These are just people trying to insult other people. So yeah, what she's saying is reasonable people understand rap battles to be opinions and to be very kind of sharp, and that you're just saying things to win the battle.
Yeah, you creating your own story, clever story.
Yes.
For it to all fit.
So she says nobody is listening to this and believing it's to be true. Yeah. Now listen, I'm not the judge, so you don't have to listen to my opinion. But I just want to say that I think some reasonable people did and do think that there's some truth to this. But hey,
that's your business. In this situation,
that's your business.
Drake has proven that he's had friendships and has a friendship with that little white girl that was like 14 years old.
Correct.
And they was texting and all type of stuff. Correct. And he has admitted this, and she has admitted this on camera. So, yeah.
So again, it's not for me to decide, it's for the judge to decide, and the judge decided that this doesn't fall under that. So that was about the defamation claims. The second one was harassment. And what was interesting in the opinion regarding harassment is that in New York, you cannot sue for harassment. Harassment, they say, is a criminal matter. It is something you report to the police. It is not something that you sue and get money for. And there, in the specific instances in which you can sue, this situation doesn't fall under it. And so they say, the judge was like, this isn't a claim. It's not something you can actually claim in a civil lawsuit. So that's why the harassment was dismissed. The third one was violation of the section 349 of the New York General Business Law. And that one has to do with basically if a company harms consumers, right? So people who purchase things, right? If a company harms them, then you can sue under this law. In this instance, the judge was like, the consumers were not harmed because it's not like they paid for something that they didn't get. It's not like they paid more for something they would have otherwise paid less for. Like there is no actual harm here. You didn't state what the harm is. And so the judge ruled that this third claim doesn't even apply because no consumers were harmed. So on all three claims.
They reaching for that one. That don't make any sense.
I will say their argument for that one was interesting because they were basically, the reason they included this is they were saying that when consumers would search for Drake's music, UMG got Spotify to, instead of giving your search results of being Drake, it would serve you Kendrick Lamar, not like So they were arguing consumers were getting something that they were not expecting. However, there was no purchasing required, and also you could eventually find Drake's song. It just they would make it the first search would be not like us. So they were saying that was a violation of that law. It's a little tricky. It's a little tricky.
They trying so hard on that one.
It's like that's
like you looking up anything on the internet and Google and whatever platform shoots you this first. Instagram, Facebook, all those little platforms. Because I know I look up workouts on Instagram and the first thing that pop up is a big booty video. And I'm like, what's happening? You know what I'm saying? I can't sue Instagram.
No, you can't.
Because
they
y'all shooting me these booty videos.
Fair.
And that be hurting my feelings.
All right, so
you know what I'm saying?
Moving on to the next agenda item, which is Meg Thee Stallion and Milagro. So if you're unaware of this one, it's another defamation case. Meg Thee Stallion is suing a blogger named Milagro, having to do with the Tory Lanez trial, as you could probably assume. And she is suing for defamation, per se, which is spoken or written, like Milagro said something or wrote something that defamed her. She's also suing for promotion of an altered AI or of an AI sexual depiction, which is very interesting because this is a Florida law. I don't know what other states it applies, but in Florida, you can sue someone. This is a claim you can make if that person promotes an AI version of you engaged in some kind of sex act. And so in this
was just created.
I forgot the year. It's more recent because it's digital stuff, right? It's like the laws are so behind on the digital age. And so you have defamation, for writing or saying something, but if someone is creating an AI image of you engaged in something, it's clearly not you, and they're promoting it as if it is real. You should have a claim. So anyway, that is what this basically law allowed you to do, to sue someone for promoting an AI image of you. And so Meg Thee Stallion is suing her for that, and then as well as intentional infliction of emotional distress. So the defamation claims is because Meg says that Milagro tweeted and also said on many of her blogging videos that Meg Thee Stallion perjured herself on the stand. She lied about Tory Lanez shooting her. She is a liar. Milagro also said, allegedly, Meg Thee Stallion is an alcoholic. And she also claimed that Meg Thee Stallion has like some mental issues to the point that she has a guardian over her. So Milagro has said all these things. Meg Thee Stallion said, enough, I'm suing. So that has been ongoing. And recently, so the trial is happening, I think next year. I can't remember the exact date right now. But recently, Meg Thee Stallion's team filed a motion for Milagro to be sanctioned. Now, follow me here. It's because when you are notified that you are being sued, that notice comes with a notice of preservation, right? You are being sued regarding this situation. You now have to keep all things related to this situation: text message, emails, phone calls, records, whatever. You have to keep it. If you don't keep it, if you intentionally delete it, right, you can get in trouble. Meg's team said she deleted stuff. She deleted messages, basically text messages and WhatsApp messages, and she was not supposed to. So they made this claim. They filed this motion. The judge orders Milagro's phone to be examined by a third-party forensic team. They examine it and say, there's some stuff missing that was not missing before. So there's a hearing, and the judge determines that she indeed deleted stuff.
Does Milagro have any kids, children?
I don't know.
See, that's one of the best things about having kids, because you can blame everything on them. Micaiah, my phone would have found itself in the sewer. I would have been like, McKinley or Micaiah threw my phone down this sewer right here, and I haven't seen it since. And they can't fight that. If you got kids, they got to understand
if you have
that.
you have a duty to preserve it. You should have. I don't know that argument goes very far.
No.
If you have a duty to preserve everything, and you
Micaiah.
know that you're done, true, Micaiah is her, but you have a duty to preserve it. I think you have a duty to keep it out of the reach of someone who would destroy it.
But my thing is going as far as erasing things on your phone, and still keeping that phone. I think it's common sense now, people. If you erase anything off your phone and you still have that phone, they can find it. Like, you're just setting yourself up for failure if you erase something off your phone and then give them the phone versus losing the entire phone.
Sure, I agree. So when the forensics team got Milagro's phone, they were able to see that messages were deleted, but they were also able to see that she took a screenshot of one of the messages that was deleted. So they were able to find the screenshot in her recently deleted photos album, because she took the screenshot, then attempted to delete the screenshot, but it was still in the recently deleted folder. I really hope y'all followed that. Regardless, if you're watching and not listening, I am putting on screen right now. You know what? I meant to block the other messages. In my video I made, I blocked the other messages, but in this, you're getting the raw, straight up document. So there's some other messages that, are part of the screenshot. But the first message is from Sunstar, which is Daystar's father. Daystar is Tory Lanez. So that first message that says 4 messages, that was from Tory's father. So the forensics team, they see that, messages have been deleted, and the forensics expert confirmed they are not able to say for 100% what's in the messages because they were deleted. And they're also not able to say 100% that the messages are related to Tory and the father. The conclusion that they're making, right, what they're gathering from what's presented, is that messages were deleted around the time
she got noticed
that she was engaged in a conversation with Tory or his father. So not all of the messages were deleted, But if she was talking to Tory Lanez on Monday at 4:00 and the message is like, hey, at 4:02 through 4:30, those messages were then deleted. But that 4:00 one is still there. Do you understand what I'm saying? Messages around the messages were deleted, but some of them still remained. And so because of that, they say it's a safe assumption that at least some of what was deleted had to do with this case and what she was supposed to keep. So as a result of that, the judge sanctioned her, and sanctions aren't always financial, right? Sanctions can come in different ways.
Sanctions are
a consequence.
Just penalty. Okay.
Exactly. And so I just want to read the actual sanction, the wording, the verbiage, because I thought it was, oh man, so interesting. So the judge decided that the sanction for what Milagro has done, deleting these messages, is that the jury will find out when it's time for them to be seated and and it's time for them to deliberate. The judge is going to tell the jury that Milagro deleted some messages, and you, as a jury, can assume that at least some of these messages had to do with this case. Let me.
That's
So here's what
great.
She's going to read to the jury. A party to a lawsuit, such as the defendant, has a legal duty to retain and preserve paper and electronic communications and other documents that concern the case. This includes, among other things, all electronically stored information in one's possession, custody, or control, such as emails, text messages, and other communications stored on applications on one's phone, computer, or in the iCloud. The day before plaintiff filed this lawsuit, her attorneys, plaintiff meaning Meg the Stallion, so the day before Meg's team filed this lawsuit, her attorneys formally notified the defendant, Milagro, that plaintiff was going to file the case and that she had the retention and preservation duty. She had these duties. Despite this written notice and these underlying legal duties, the defendant, Milagro, deleted thousands of text messages and removed the WhatsApp app from her phone that potentially contained messages and chats. In reaching your verdict, you should assume and infer that the defendant intended to deprive the plaintiff of the evidence in the deleted messages, that at least some of the deleted messages related to the claims in this case and were about the plaintiff, and that these deleted messages were unfavorable to the defendant. She's going to say that to the jury.
Sound about right.
That, if I was Milagro, would make me want to settle. Hey, can we just come to an agreement? Because imagine you're about to go deliberate and the judge is like, by the way, she deleted some stuff that she did not want you to see. Do with that what you will when you go back there.
And it's coming from the judge.
And it's coming from the judge.
And when the judge speaks, you believe in everything the judge says.
Thousands.
Yeah. And that's what thousands.
It was thousands. Literally the
I thought from the picture, I was like, oh, a few text messages.
No. It's like 50,000. Like it's a lot. It's a lot of
50,000.
It's a lot of messages.
Oh, well, I know at least one or two of those are about the case.
Well, and that's what she's saying. You can infer. You can believe that is the case. So that is what's going to happen for this case. As of now, it's still continuing. And again, the claims. What's interesting though, I'll go back to the AI. What's so interesting is, so Milagro tried to have this lawsuit dismissed as well. Everybody does, right? You sue, first thing you say is throw it out. It's BS. So she tried to have it dismissed. She tried to say that everything she said about Meg, saying that she perjured herself, saying that she's an alcoholic, saying that she had a guardian, that's all opinion. She tried to say First Amendment. You can say it was hyperbolic. I was just kidding. And the judge was like, no, you were not.
I can believe that one. I would have thought the judge would have agreed. Like, okay.
No.
The AI is what I'm like.
Well, so the AI, what happened? Milagro did not make this AI video. Oh, okay. Somebody else made the AI video. And remember, the claim is for promoting. You don't have to make it. So Milagro liked the video. And on Twitter, when your likes, what you like on Twitter is public. So the minute you hit that little heart, there's a tab on your profile that says likes, so people can see them. Not only did she like it, she then let me pull it up so y'all.
She didn't repost it.
She then said, "Go look at my likes."
Hold
on, I'm gonna show y'all.
Wow.
I'm gonna show y'all. Wait.
I didn't promote it. I just told them to look at
Well,
my
and you know
likes.
what's so interesting is in the motion to dismiss, Milagro's team is not saying that she didn't like it or say go to my likes. They're not saying that. Their whole argument was that's not considered promoting.
Oh my goodness.
That's what they said. And so here's her, they gonna have, there's her tweet, go to my likes. And it was right after, hold on, is it in this one? Oops. Oh, I don't think they include the image of the AI because that would probably be problematic. But just know, before she said go to my like, she had just liked the AI video.
Did you see the AI video?
I did not.
Oh, okay.
Here is they have a bunch of her screenshots because Milagro, like I said, is a blogger. So she's on the internet all the time saying and doing things. And so Meg's team has just screenshot everything. So this is one of her tweets, Milagro's tweets, saying all this case taught anyone was that your father, brother, cousin, or son could face over 20 years in prison without proper evidence, a botched investigation, and another likely suspect just because non-credible witnesses said you did something. So one of the things that non-credible just reminded me, one of the things that Milagro's team argued for the defamation is that she wasn't calling her a liar. She was saying she was not credible. That's what Milagro's team said. The problem is there are other tweets where Milagro said, we know you a lying asshole. So the judge was like, but you said lie. You caught her lying there. And then let's see if I think there's another one in here. This is where she says that she has a guardian, right? This is a tweet of Milagro saying Meg's ex-bestie telling me she wasn't messing with this T. Ferris guy, but he was actually her guardian. Here's about her calling her a drunkie. So anyway, the judge said, this is not enough for me to dismiss. It's something that a jury should decide. They're going to decide if you actually defamed her, but based on what's presented to me, it is enough for the case to at least continue to a trial. So that is what happened there. And then that's, what's going on with the AI. So
what people are failing to realize is that the internet is forever. Whatever you do is forever now. So especially if you're a blogger, influencer, whatever you got going is recorded. 100%. Somebody's recording it and it's in the archives. So they're going to come out and bite you in the butt if need be. AI is something serious because I'm learning and I've been YouTubing how to make videos on AI. You take anybody's face, you can make them do anything.
100%. And
it will look like them to the T. So I agree with Florida for once. That's crazy. Florida is doing something right by this because, I mean, you can put out a video of anybody doing anything and just diminishing their reputation.
100%.
So, yeah, AI is wild. And with AI, you don't know. You scroll through the internet now and you have to second guess, third guess, fourth guess everything because you don't even know if it's the person really saying what they saying.
I agree.
So,
yeah. So the laws do have to catch up. They have to start accounting for the new ways in which people are harmed. This is a new way in which people, could be harmed. So I think, it's appropriate to have it. Now, what if she'll be able to prove it in court? And if the jury agrees, obviously we'll see. But I think the law is a good one. And I'm curious to know how many states have that law or similar ones. But anyway, I assume there'll probably be more AI ones because of how much damage could be done.
Oh, AI is about to,
so much damage.
And so many, they're going to capitalize off of this now too, because they're going to have you probably won't be able to well, they doing it now with that certified, that blue flag or whatever it is. So this isn't AI, this is that person. So in order to be credible, you probably gonna have to up your stars or whatever, so people will know it's not
what's
AI.
real and what's
Yeah.
not. Yeah. Let's go to.
That's wild though. Oh, well, another comment I wanted to make. It's interesting that the Drake and Kendrick Lamar situation, they dismissed Drake because Kendrick was talking bad about him, putting stuff out about him, but now they're allowing what's her name?
Milagro,
Meg Thee Stallion to sue Milagro for diminishing her reputation.
Yeah, I think the fact, two things. Number one, the Meg Thee Stallion Milagro is in Florida.
Yep.
And Drake and UMG was in New York. So off top, you are already going to know there's going to be different laws applied. But in addition to that, what the judge really emphasized, in my opinion, from the Drake UMG one is that the context being a rap battle really, really matters here. I think if that was said just online, maybe, I think you're in a different conversation. But I think from what I was reading, the judge really is like, there's a long history of rap battles and people saying crazy things in them. And the cultural understanding is that this is just people saying what they want to say.
Yep.
I think the difference with this Milagro thing is, number one, Milagro has proven, it's been shown that she has a connection in some way to Tory Lanez, a direct connection, right? Yep. And so when you put that in context, that Tory Lanez shot, convicted of, he shot her, Meg Thee Stallion, just so we're clear. When you put that in context, that he shot her, he was then convicted of shooting her and is now in jail for that. And you have Milagro, who is in some kind of direct relationship with him. I'm not saying romantic or whatever, but I'm just saying they have some sort of relationship.
Yep.
And she is, what Meg Thee Stallion says, is the mouthpiece, right? Is spewing this on his behalf, is on his payroll, right? So now it feels malicious. It feels like you are doing this as revenge because you got my boy in prison. So now we are spewing this narrative about you. So when you consider that versus a rap battle, I think you're already on a different playing field. In addition to that, Milagro attended the trial. And for me, at least, that adds another layer, because if I told you I went to the trial and this is my opinion, you may give credence to it because it's like you were there. So you probably have insight, right? It wasn't streamed, so no, people who weren't there didn't see it. So if I tell you I was there and I tell you what happened, you may believe me. I think that adds a level that maybe just a rap battle doesn't necessarily have. And so if she is saying I was there and she wasn't credible and this happened and they didn't prove this and they didn't see this, a reasonable person could just believe her off top. So I think that, for me anyway, that matters. I would, if you told me you attended something and I ain't see it, I may believe what you got to say personally. Anyway.
Cool.
All right. Next on the agenda,
Mama Gotti.
Donna Sue has been sentenced to life in prison, which we all knew was coming.
Take that.
Because what do we all know? If you are an I'm Not a Lawyer But watcher, we all know that if you are convicted of first-degree murder in Florida, what is the sentence?
Life
in prison without parole, automatically. Now, the only way you don't get life in prison without parole in Florida, if convicted, is because you're getting the death penalty. Those are the only options.
Or if Jesus come back right then.
Sure, but your sentence will be life in prison without parole or death. That's it. So you can assume life for that. You know what? Melly is facing death. And if he wasn't, it would be life in prison without parole. So Donna got convicted, so we all knew what was coming. Yet her attorneys on verdict day, they asked for some time because it was too much of a long day. They asked for her to get some time and to have a sentence later. And so they had the sentence hearing, and they had some people speak on her behalf, including her husband, Harvey. Now, we saw Harvey all throughout her trial sitting there with the old stone face. And yesterday we heard him speak for the first time, and he was in defense of his wife.
Harvey probably the mastermind behind all this.
So let's play just some of what Harvey had to say yesterday.
Done nothing wrong. She has done nothing wrong, and yet is being punished for a crime that she did not commit. I thought we lived in a different kind of world, but I guess I was wrong. I have listened, watched, and sat in the courtroom for the entire trial, and I could not help but scream in my mind by the witnesses that were brought forward by the prosecution who told outright lies. I didn't know that you could lie in a courtroom, but apparently you can. Danny's parents contend that they have never seen their grandchild. But for years they say they've never seen her. But Wendy has shared with me pictures and videos and letters from their visits. Donna has always been a loving and caring wife and is innocent of the charges. A biased judge
Come on,
and
bias.
jury were influenced by years of one-sided news pieces and social media.
You the judge.
Ms. Fulford, this has nothing to do with the character of the defendant or relates to sentencing.
May I just one moment, please?
Go ahead.
Wait. So listen. First of all, this man said a bias. You are sitting in front of the judge that's about to sentence your wife, and your bright idea is to say a biased judge and jury. That judge said, "Excuse me, shut him up, please." And then the attorney was like, we gonna review his state. Give me a
Hold on for a
second.
second.
This lady must have X'd out the whole paper, because when she was done, Harvey came back and said, I love you, Donna. he said
It's
more than
over,
that.
man.
He said more than that, but that's basically what he said. That man sat down. He said, "Thank you for letting me continue. Love be to Donna." All right, bye, y'all. He had nothing more to add. He sat down quick.
He tripped me out with the I didn't know you could lie in a courtroom.
Oh my gosh.
Man, shut up, man.
Shut up.
Sit your old ass down.
What is happening?
Sit down,
What
man.
is happening?
Your wife out here making hits on people.
And first of
Obvious
all,
hits.
the way that they reference him is an unindicted co-conspirator. So you, sir,
He know about it.
might want to shut up for you be in the same seat
He
she's
is.
in. Both of
better-
y'all ain't got a ton of time left. Everybody relax.
Where they were trying to fly off to?
Oh,
what
where
is it,
was
Vietnam?
it? Vietnam.
Yeah, he better go and get over there.
That is hilarious.
Yeah. Playboy, they coming for you.
After Harvey, Wendy has the bright idea to give her own statement. However, her attorney first off says she wants to give an unsworn statement. Hold on. Actually, let me play that.
Adelson has decided she would like to, Mrs. Adelson has decided she would like to make an unsworn statement to the court.
Unsworn?
Yes, Judge.
I don't know
All
what
the
an
witnesses
unsworn
will be
statement is.
sworn this afternoon if she wishes to speak.
Judge, the case law indicates, confirms that the defendant has the right to make an unsworn statement prior to sentencing.
So the judge I should continue that because the judge is so confused. He's like, what? And so, but the attorney gives him some case law. He looks it up and he's like, you can give an unsworn statement. So I had to ask attorneys, what would be the benefit? Why would you want to do this? And so Attorney Stara, who has been a guest on this pod many times, you guys all know, she said that unsworn basically protects you from perjury. So from a perjury charge, right? So if you are saying unsworn, they cannot later charge you with perjury saying that you lied about X, Y, and Z. So the other thing I read, because throughout this hearing, what would happen is people would give statements and the judge kept asking the other side, that he kept asking the prosecutors if they had anything to ask of the witnesses who were giving statements. They said no the whole time. But when I was reading about unsworn statements, I also read that it prevents you from being cross-examined, basically. So had she given this statement, the prosecutors, because it's unsworn, could not then go cross her on whatever she said. So it was basically some kind of protection. To me, it screams, I'm about to lie. So don't put me in jail for it, because I can say what I want, because I'm telling y'all now, this ain't the truth. That's what it was giving me, but I'm not a lawyer. So what do I know? What do I know?
It's the milk been spilt already, man. You ain't about to save yourself.
True. And
You
I don't know that
75, 80 years old, you about to go life in prison and you worried about them using some whatever you about to say against you.
I don't know
Get
that
outta
she
here.
was even trying to save herself, because she was like, I did not do this. She was let me play some more of Miss Lady on the stand.
Seeing in the case where it does
See here, you can look at her right now. She gone.
About who make up its minds about who is what they call the quote mastermind behind this murder. In both of Catherine Magbanaw's trials, the state claimed she was the mastermind behind Danny's murder. In my son Charlie Adelson's trial, they claimed he was the mastermind. And now in my trial, they claimed that this grandma, was the mastermind behind the murder. Where is the evidence prior to the murder? The evidence beyond a reasonable doubt that the state needed to prove their case. Where is the evidence before July 18th, 2014 at 10:50 in the morning?
Before you continue,
That
Mrs.
revealed-
Adelson, as it relates to this statement, is the defense trying to re-argue the trial?
No, Judge, just giving Mrs. Adelson an opportunity to be heard.
Listen, the judge said, what are y'all talking about? Listen, the whole point of this is for y'all to make me feel bad for her. That y'all aren't doing that.
No, you making me angry.
Yes. This is the opposite of what you should be doing.
Say, I'm sorry this happened, but I had nothing to do with it. Please be lenient on me. I'm 75 years old.
This
Your
grandma.
Honor, give me 5 years, man. Please help me.
The judge was so annoyed, and he was like, you're not expressing any remorse, and I can use that against you, just so you know. And her attorney tried to be like, nah, judge, you can't. And he was like, yes, I can. Yes, I
But
can.
y'all want to convict this grandma.
This grandma.
She stopped sniffling for that one moment. She was like, this grandma.
Let me go. I just wanted to go to the end of her statement, because eventually.
I've always respected the law.
Oh, wait.
An innocent
took the
woman
glasses
convicted
off.
of this terrible crime without evidence. I've always respected the law. I've never gotten a parking ticket, but I'm going to prison for a murder I did not commit.
Now imagine
And
that.
so, as I appear before you today, Your Honor, I promise you with my whole heart, I swear to you on my life, I was not involved in any way with Danny's murder. I was not.
That's what she should have started out with saying, but it's over for you. The
So-
evidence is clear.
Well, and so good old Donna, the judge sentences her to life in prison without parole, obviously, for the first degree. She was also convicted of conspiracy and solicitation, right, for basically ordering it. And so her attorneys were trying to argue, I think they wanted her to get 7 years total, so like 3.5 per charge, which would have amounted to 7, and they wanted it to run concurrently, so at the same time as the life sentence. The judge was like, I hear you, no. So he sentenced her to 30 years for conspiracy and 30 years for solicitation. However, he said they can run concurrently, so the 30 years for one is being served at the same time as the other, but they are to run consecutive to the life in prison term. So you have to serve life in prison you have to die. And then in the event they revive you, you will still have 30 more years left for count 2 and 3.
They gonna put her AI in jail.
Literally. Come on, call back. That was good. So
hey man, you in here?
So a lot of people were like, why do people do this? And I wanted to quickly talk about how we've seen something like this play out. So if you recall YSL, Lil Rod, remember? Lil Rod was charged. And before the YSL trial, he had already been convicted and sentenced, I think it was a life term, for the murder charge that he had. So what was happening with YSL was they were trying to, they were appealing the life sentence that he already had. And so if they appealed that, he still had this YSL issue that was left. So I'll wrap it up so you can follow me. Basically, those sentences are important for appeals, right? So let's say Donna appeals this, which they already said she's going to. She's going to appeal this first degree charge. If she appeals it and wins, let's say her conviction gets overturned. What the judge has done by ordering her or sentencing her to the consecutive, the 30 years after, is that even if you succeed on this appeal, you still got these 30 years, girl. You still got to serve them out. So you would have to be successful on appealing the first degree, the conspiracy, and the solicitation in order to like truly go home. So that is why. Did you follow that?
Yeah.
That makes sense? Okay. So that is why, in theory, it's like, this is silly.
It is.
But in actuality, it matters for appeals.
And if she wasn't her age,
sure,
it makes sense.
I mean, by the time she actually appeals, honey.
If she was
20,
30, you know.
Yeah.
But man, the next 10, 15, you up out of here, playboy.
And the thing about Florida, I think
you gone.
We know that Florida, remember we've had this conversation about certain states not even having parole.
It was
it's Illinois.
Yeah.
Okay. So she gonna serve this one. If it was Illinois, it don't matter. You gonna serve your time, honey. But yeah, so that's good old Wendy. Wendy Donna. I'm already jumping to Wendy. That's what happened.
I have no sympathy for this lady at all because they took away this guy's life for nothing. Like this guy was a father, paying taxes. Like
paying taxes.
He was a good, upstanding citizen from what we know of. I don't know what he did in his spare time.
Sure.
But I mean, they took his life for nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Pulled up at his house.
I mean,
pulled up at his house.
Put her under the jail.
And there's so many people. What the judge says before he sentenced her, let me just play the beginning because he talks about that how much planning and like what all went into this. Let me just play the beginning.
Yeah, and during that planning, man, you had so many times to say no. Let's not do this, and you still went through it.
Level of planning and coordination to bring the murder of Professor Markell to fruition was significant in this case. These were not crimes of chance or opportunity, and these crimes also required you to conspire with your son and others. You certainly can choose to deny your involvement and maintain innocence. The court finds the evidence in this case is clear. You will be sentenced accordingly this afternoon.
I love and hate this judge. The evidence is clear that you have done this. And so it is so like monotone.
It is, but you gonna understand what I'm saying.
I mean, it's very direct, but it's like, sir.
He said you can keep
there are no inflections.
You can keep your stance of innocence.
Yeah.
But the evidence is clear.
It's so anyway, I enjoyed him. I thought she called him biased. I thought he did really good, but it was also very clear he did not like that lady. I think he has been the judge over all of the cases too. So he is over all of them. Get out of my courtroom. Wendy, if you come on now, because get out. Okay. That was the latest on Donna Sue and the Adelson saga. Unless Wendy is up next, then that, should be the end.
Her daughter, right?
Her daughter, yeah.
Do y'all think they're gonna get the husband too? Because
I don't
I'm
think
sure he knew about it.
I think so too. She's 75. I think they said he's 81. Honestly, it's all right. Christmas is already ruined. Like, I think it's all right. Just leave the man be.
Christmas is ruined.
I think everybody. Rob then testified against the mama in the trial. He's in New York. He hates him. Wendy don't talk to him because y'all killed her ex, and maybe she had something to do with it. Maybe she did it, but she also testified about everybody. So I don't think she's not talking to nobody. Daddy is sad because Donna is gone. Charlie's in jail. And when Donna was giving her statement, she said out her mouth, everybody who had something to do with this is where they are supposed to be. Man, that includes your son.
So she flipped on everybody. Yeah.
So I don't think any of them will be speaking to each other.
It'll behoove her
it's
daughter
all right.
not to speak to anybody anyway, because
they
probably
listening.
going. Yep, they record.
They listening.
They waiting for you to slip up.
Yes.
Say that one little thing, and they gonna get you.
Okay. Let me give you this quick one before we go. Yesterday, today is Wednesday. I have been repeating this in the episodes because it feels necessary. This is recorded on Wednesdays with our Patreon. We record it live. So at the time this is being recorded, I can only give you the information that I am aware of. If something happens between Wednesday and Friday when this comes out, I don't know it yet. FYI, give me grace. At this point, okay, what I know is that yesterday, actually Tuesday, US Weekly posted that Nicki Minaj's house is in trouble. It could be seized, and it has to do with a lawsuit that was filed that they did not they being her and her husband Kenneth Petty did not respond to. There was a default judgment entered, because if you don't respond to a lawsuit, what happens is the default. It doesn't mean you did it or you did or didn't do it, but what it means is you didn't respond, so we're defaulting to you did it. So default judgment entered over $500,000 that she is required to pay, her and her husband. They haven't paid it. And so the person who is suing them, who's actually a security guard, has gone through the steps to try and have the court order her to sell her home so that he can get his $500,000.
I was just thinking about the suing of somebody. How do you get this money? Because if I sue you for $600K and I'm granted that, you have to literally pay me, but who's forcing you to pay me? So this is
the court. The person who is due the money can harass the court enough to say, hey, they're not paying me, and they have the ability to. As long as you have the ability to, you have assets, you have something that if you sold can get me my money. Remember, think about Dame Dash.
Yep.
What did they make him do? Sell his stake in Rock Nation. Yep. They said, hey, pull up to the auction.
Yep.
Put that on the steps. So they haven't responded to the lawsuit. They haven't paid the man the money. And so he is now asking the court to force her to sell her home, which is worth about $20 million. And he's like, I don't care about the rest. Just give me my 500. Listen, do what you want. I want my cut. Here is what is interesting in reading the documents. If you're in Patreon, I'll be posting the documents in Patreon today so you guys can read them, because I found it kind of interesting. After, obviously, you sue someone, you have to notify them that you've sued them, right? It's called service. You have to serve them. And so he made attempts to serve them and was unsuccessful. They first sent the documents via first-class mail to their home. And now in other instances, we've heard this happen, right? Where it's like, how do you know if you have the right address, or return to sender? Here's where it gets interesting and tricky for this particular couple. Nicki Minaj's husband is a registered sex offender. Remember that part? You know what happens when you're a registered sex offender? You know what happens? You have to register where you live legally. In California, it's called Megan's Law. You have to do that. Actually, in 2022, Kenneth Petty got in trouble and was ordered to house arrest because he moved here and didn't register. And so in 2022, which is also when this lawsuit was filed, he, for the first time since moving here, actually registered his address. So they served him to the address that was registered. So I think the whole, like, maybe it's the wrong house, I think that goes out the window, because actually this is on the registered offenders list. You live here. So they do first class mail. Doesn't get a response. So then his attorneys hire some a process server company to serve. The lady said, I didn't went to these people's house 13 times. The first like 5 to 7 times, she is knocking on the door. Nobody answers. Nobody answers. Nobody answers. They live in a gated community. There's a little security hut. You know, they be having little security people. So eventually she starts talking to the security people like, hey, are they home? What's going on? At one point, the security guard at the little hut calls the house to say, hey, there is a process server here who is trying to serve you documents because you are being sued. The security guard, according to the process server, is on the phone directly with Kenneth Petty. She talks to him and says, hey, process server is down here. They're coming to your house. Answer the door because they're coming. Process server goes to the door and knocks. He never answers. She comes the next day, does the same thing. Security guard calls, hey, process server's here on the way, Mr. Petty. Okay. Process server goes up there. No answer. Does it for like 4 or 5 days in a row. Never answered. Mr. Petty, according to the documents, not me, Mr. Petty never answers the door. And so they're unable to properly serve him. However, this story, when they first were sued, hits People Magazine, hits TMZ, hits all the blogs. And so one of the things that the plaintiff, the security guard, is saying is like, not only did we try to serve them to make sure they are aware about this lawsuit, but it was also all over the blogs. These are celebrities. I'm sure they knew beyond just our service, they were aware they were being sued. So they don't get away with that. Regardless, even after they are unable to personally serve them, the plaintiff and his attorney, they asked for a publication. They took it old school. So they said, hey, judge, since we can't personally serve them, since we can't serve them through mail, since they've ignored the media, we want to put in the newspaper, as if this is the 1990s. We want to put in the newspaper, hey, in case you read this, Nicki Minaj and Kenneth Petty, we're suing you. Please respond.
Donna will read it.
She ain't got nothing else to do. So they put it in the Nicki and Kenneth live in Calabasas. So they chose a Calabasas newspaper specifically. They said, this is the publication we intend to put this in. The judge says, sure. So they make, you have to do this even when you do business stuff. You have to put it in as it's so stupid, because who are you truly intending to reach? But regardless, they were trying to do their due diligence. They were trying to say, we have tried everything. So they put it in the newspaper. They still don't get a response. And so that is how we've arrived to the point where they're saying, we have done what we could. We have this default judgment. You have ruled that they owe the security guard this $500,000. At this point, make them sell their house so I can get my money and go about my day.
Yeah.
So that is kind of how we got to where we are. I'm going to do a video on this that may include a bit more detail, but that was kind of the overview. There's going to be a hearing on this situation actually on November 20th. I don't know who's going to show up, but I may, because it's in LA. I think I'm free that Thursday. So it's in LA, and my intention is to show up and see how it goes. But it's supposed to be about if they're going to have to sell their house or not.
They should have showed up in the Amazon outfit.
Why?
They probably come to the door for the Amazon.
Well, what they were saying, and what the process server said, and the little hut security guard said is, I don't know why this was included, but it said they had a person, they being Nicki and Kenneth, had a person who was picking up their packages for them because they were being dropped off at the house. This person would pick up their packages, and then the little hut security guard told the process server they fired him. So now the packages are just up there.
Wow.
I was like, why did that need to be included in these documents? Why we need to know they fired them? It's such a bizarre.
I wonder if they even living at the house though. I mean, they calling him, but it could be on the cell phone. So he's
Maybe.
somewhere else. Crazy.
If he doesn't live there, he's supposed to have that registered. And if he
Yeah.
doesn't, he gonna get in more trouble than just house arrest is what I would assume. So either way, they gonna have to answer to some questions they may not want to answer to. But
Nikki probably ain't staying there because she too busy fighting Cardi.
on the internet,
Yeah.
child. Oh, you know what? Yes, sorry. There was a objection that I did want to hit. Thank you for that reminder. Let's listen to that one.
Oh, hi, Greg. I have an objection, and it's not fully about the topics that I know you put in the Patreon, which if you do play this in the episode, for anyone listening, like, you should join the Patreon because the Patreon is awesome, and we're having a good time over there at Co-Counsel. Anyways, I'm actually objecting to my objection last week, where I had an objection about grand jury indictment and what's going before the grand jury not being presented earlier, and like thinking about the Kyron Lacey case, right? Because I don't know if you're going to talk about it on this week's debrief, but now I'm just like, I have an objection. I object to my objection because with the Wendy Osefo case, that is ongoing and they're in charges, I was just like, you know what? From what the charges say, obviously we have to wait for the case, but it all sounded pretty dumb. So you act like y'all didn't need to know that y'all were about to be indicted, because like, how dumb is that? And then I also realized it's hypocritical to be like, oh, you shouldn't do it. You should give information in this case and not in the other case. So I'm just objecting to my previous objection because like, clearly I was wrong.
Hilarious. That
What's up, y'all?
Oh,
Welcome to the very first episode of
hilarious. Just to make that clear, what she is talking about, right, is for Kyron Lacey. We talked a bit about the fact that Kyron, what is presented in front of a grand jury it's a secretive kind of situation, right? The defendant is not there. His attorneys are not there. Grand jury, that process is between the prosecutors and then the grand jury members, and that is secretive. And so she was saying that that is unfair and that the defendants should be involved. It sounds like she's now changed her opinion based off of the Wendy Osefo situation, because she is in agreement that they didn't need to know what was going on. They should just be at home because y'all are dumb for doing this anyway. It sounds like what she was getting at. So that's all. All right. Anyway, that is the recap. We were all over with the pop culture topics today, but I hope you followed along, enjoyed all the things. Go to ImNotALawyerBut.com for merch. Follow me on all the platforms at ImNotALawyerBut, and make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel, do all the things they tell you to do.
Hit all the like buttons. Hit them all, or I will find you.
Say where to find you.
You can catch me on GOOLZBY on IG, and RIP to Donna.
She not dead.
She gonna die now.